Hey guys, in this video we're going to be analyzing another fun and complicated endgame position. This one was submitted to me by Sam Kaplan, so shout out to Sam for providing the content for this video, and it arose in a game Sam played against Robin Lewis. Both Sam and Robin are strong players rated about 16 to 1700. Now, in this position, it's Sam's turn, and he's down 14 with a bit of a clunky rack. As we can see on the bottom, he's got 2 Ds, 2 Gs, an O, an R, and an S. Robin, as we can see on the right-hand side of my screen, also has 7 tiles. She's got 2 E's, an L, an M, an R, a T, and a Y. So this is a endgame with the bag fully empty. These are the last 7 tiles each of the players are going to have for the rest of the game. Now, what we can notice here on this board is it's very closed. There are quite few places to play for points, and certainly very few places to play a lot of tiles at the same time. The bottom right area of the board here is pretty much impossible to use since there's no way to hook Beaky, and YEH doesn't take an S or any other hooks. Likewise, the top right section of the board here can't really be accessed since there's no way to hook Stoving or Vatic, and Jun can't be extended with something like Junk or Junior given the tiles each of the players have. There is the possibility for Sam to hook Enthrone with his D, which, as we'll see, will become very relevant in several variations. Now, the top left is also similarly difficult to use, but for a different reason, because this one is completely exhausted, right? If we look at this quadrant, all of the spots have pretty much been used up by words already on the board, and there really just isn't any room left to play tiles. Maybe Robin could play her Y with something here like Meaty, but that's about it. Otherwise, neither player can really use this area of the board. And similarly, this bottom left section over here is pretty much all used up and isn't going to play much of a role in the endgame. So with that in mind, Sam should probably be focused on areas like this W and this L down here that I'm currently circling, since these are a few of the tiles where one could actually play more than like 1 or 2 tiles at a time, and possibly score a couple points while doing so. Another place that's going to become important is this spot right here next to the A in the Ixora, because both players have a tile that hooks Squid. Sam has an S for Squid, and Robin has E's for Equid, and this is a good way to play off 2 tiles as well as scoring about 20 points. Lastly, both players can hook Q with something like Q'd or Q'er, or even Q's for Sam. So this spot, as we'll see too, will be highly relevant. But doing this sort of first overall analysis does help simplify our endgame breakdown a little bit, just because we now know there's going to be a relatively limited subset of areas that each of the players can play to score points and unload tiles. So with that in mind, what are Sam's best options? Let's start with what actually happened in the game. Sam made the play of Gouds through this W, which is a very logical play. It scores points and unloads 4 of his tiles, including his duplicate G and his duplicate D. So this play makes a lot of sense. However, as it turns out, and as we'll see throughout this video, Gouds is actually not Sam's correct play. Sam did have a way to guarantee himself a win in the opening position, but as of now, after Sam plays Gouds, Robin will be winning this endgame with optimal play. In the actual game, what happened is Robin played EM over here for 10. Sam dropped his R on Q to make Q'er. Robin played BD over here, dropping her Y for 11 points. Sam played Enthrone for 13. And Robin responded with EL over here. Now, Sam has nowhere to play his G, so he had to pass. And Robin likewise can't play either her R or her T, so she had to pass as well. And after 6 passes, Sam lost 2 points for his G, Robin lost 1 point each for her R and T, so she also lost 2 points, and the game ended 407 to 390 in Sam's favor. So that's what actually happened after Gouds, but as I mentioned, Robin actually has a way to win here. And the key thing that we have to notice is Robin is down 17 points, but Sam has left himself 3 consonants here and no vowels, and as a result, he's not going to have a lot of flexibility for playing off the rest of his tiles. And in fact, the G in particular, we notice is going to be difficult to play because Ag over here is Sam's only spot for the G. The R will be able to also go down with Cure, and the D plays in several spots. It plays with Queued as well as Enthroned and Dado over here in the bottom left. So the D is going to be tough to stick Sam with, but the G and possibly the R are what Robin should be focusing on to see if she can stick Sam with those tiles. So with that in mind, Robin has a few options to consider. One of which is playing something like at over here for 2 points. The idea being twofold. Number one, it stops Sam from playing his G, so he will be G stuck for the rest of the game. And number two, it sets Robin up for a play of 8 and Equid next turn for 20 points. Now, in this position, Sam actually can still win, so at is not Robin's winning play, but as we'll see, it requires very precise and clever playing by Sam to still hold on to the win. He needs to respond with Cure over here, the idea being stopping Robin from playing her own R in that spot and saving the D for Enthroned. Playing Queued would lose, as Sam would then be stuck with both his G and his R, and I'll leave it to the viewers to establish that Robin would win quite easily by playing off one or a couple tiles at a time after Queued. So after Cure, Robin really doesn't have much else to do other than dropping an E over here and scoring her 20 points. Enthroned can't be blocked, so there's really no use in even trying to play in that area of the board. Now here comes the pivotal moment of this sequence. If Sam immediately plays Enthroned, he's going to lose, because he'll have given Robin a spot to play off a number of her tiles using this DE hook. So one option for her might be just playing BD over here, unloading her Y. And now Sam is stuck with the G, so he's going to have to pass. And Robin can simply just play Elm under DE. And in this position, both Sam and Robin will be stuck, Robin with her R and Sam with his G. So after 6 passes, Sam will lose 2 points and Robin will lose 1, and Robin will win by 2 by a score of 409 to 407. So that's why Enthroned doesn't work for Sam. And he only has one other valid play, namely to play Dado over here. But unfortunately, even though this doesn't give back plays like Elm to Robin, it also falls just short. Robin can still respond with BD over here, and Sam once again will be stuck with his G. Robin now plays EM over here for 6, shedding her M, and now both players are stuck, Sam with his G, Robin with an L and an R. But after 6 passes, both players will lose 2 points, so Robin will hold on to win by 1, 401 to 400. So we now see that Enthroned and Dado both lose narrowly for Sam. But those are his only 2 plays. Or are they? Sam actually has a crazy idea here to win the game, and that is to pass. And I know this sounds really bizarre. Usually you see passing in the pre-endgame situation where you need to avoid allowing your opponent to bingo out, or maybe avoid getting a certain tile like the Q that you know you're going to get stuck with. It's exceedingly rare you see a pass in the middle of an already full-blown endgame. But this is one of those circumstances. And why does this work? The reason is that Sam really needs to play Enthroned. We saw that Dado isn't going to score him enough points. But he can't play Enthroned until Robin gets rid of her E, because if Robin still has an E, then she can play DE and Elmi or Elm or something like that. So with that in mind, basically the idea here is Sam is forcing Robin to play off her E, and only once she plays off her E will Sam respond with Enthroned. So in this position, Robin, of course, can't just pass back, because if they pass 6 times, Sam being ahead 10 will win easily. So Robin might try something like BD. And now it looks like Sam is in trouble because he's losing. Robin is now up by 1. But he can actually just pass again, because even though he's down by 1, he has only 4 points on his rack from his D and G, whereas Robin has 6, 3 from the M and 1 from each of her E, L, and R. So the game, if a 6 pass occurs, will actually end with Sam winning 392 to 391. With that in mind, he passes again, and now Robin finds herself in a pickle, because she, as we just established, can't pass back. She has to make a word, and as we see, she has no valid plays that don't use her E. Her best valid play would be EM, and now and only now can Sam play Enthroned, because Robin has no E to respond with a play hooking DE. So in this position, both Sam and Robin would be stuck with their remaining tiles, and Sam would win by 6 points, 407 to 401. So really crazy stuff. After at by Robin, Sam would have to find this very precise sequence of Cure followed by 2 passes followed by Enthroned. And this is going to be a very important theme later on in the endgame when we talk about Sam's winning play instead of Gauds. But before we go there, let's first show why Gauds doesn't win. Since At didn't win for Robin, what is her win? It's worth noting that plays like AR or AL in the same spot don't do any good. Sam can win by the same exact sequence, since instead of, say, being stuck with an L and an R, Robin would just be stuck with an R and a T or an L and a T. None of those three tiles play on this board without also using an E. So none of those plays work for Robin, and it turns out her best play is Cure, which does make sense, since this was a very valuable spot for Sam to drop either an R or a D. And in this position, Sam now doesn't really have a lot of good options. He can't play Enthroned because Robin can simply just respond with something like Elm or Elmy, and then Sam won't really have much of a spot to play his G or his R. For instance, if she just plays Elm over here, then all Sam can do is play his G or his R next to Ixora, and Robin can just go out with something like Elmy and Yet and win easily. So Enthroned is not going to work for Sam, and what other options does he have? He could consider something like Ag over here just to shed his G so he isn't stuck with it, but the problem is he's still going to be R-stuck, so if Robin just responds with an E-drop for 20, and Sam plays Enthroned, then Robin wins very easily, as she can just play Elmy, and Sam, without a spot for his R, will lose by quite a bit. The last thing that Sam could consider is AD, just because this stops Equid, since ADE isn't valid, but now Sam has stuck himself with both the G and the R, so Robin just goes ahead and plays BD, Sam has to pass, and then I'll leave it to the viewers to show that Robin wins easily from this position. So after Cure, there really just isn't anything else for Sam to consider here. We've looked at Enthroned, we've looked at playing a tile here, and he's completely lost in this position. He just doesn't have any good ways to dispose of his tiles, and Robin has a lot of flexibility with her remaining rack. So that is the reason why Gauds does not work for Sam in the opening position. So with that in mind, what else could Sam consider? One other idea might be playing Gaud over here instead of Gauds, with the idea of setting up his S for the next turn, since Gaud followed by Gauds will score more points than just Gauds alone. The problem is Robin can again just respond with Cure, and this isn't going to work, because even though Sam now plays Gauds and scores more points, Robin still has more than enough flexibility, and in fact she has an extra turn because Sam now used 2 turns to play Gaud and Gauds, so she can again just play At for 2 points. And once again, Sam can't play Enthroned, because Robin, even though she's down 22, has all the time in the world with Sam stuck with both the G and the R. She can just drop her E over here and then go out with Elmy and win easily. So Enthroned isn't going to work, and Sam's only other option is actually to just play Dado, and this isn't going to work either, as I'll leave the viewers to see, because once again, just Aiden Equid, and then Robin plays off her Y and wins easily. So Sam's only other option really would be to pass, like we saw in the other sequence, but this isn't going to work, because now Robin just plays 8 over here, and Sam now can't pass again, because he's down too many points. So he'll have to make a word, and then Robin just either goes out with Elmy or plays off her Y and wins very comfortably. So this Gaud followed by Gaud's idea won't work for Sam either. So we've sort of now established, after looking at the longer plays for Sam, that he probably needs to make a shorter play with the idea of keeping more tiles so that he has more flexibility and more turns with which to play and hopefully score points, while Robin is playing off 1 or 2 tiles at a time and maximizing her own score. So he's got 2 viable options. One of them is to play a tile over here next to the A in Ixora with the idea of stopping Robin from using this spot, and the other idea is to hook Q. It turns out only one of these ideas wins, and let's first take a look at what happens if Sam puts a D next to the A in Ixora. This would be the most logical tile to place here, because Robin cannot put an E with ADE being invalid, but this isn't going to work, because Robin just responds once again with Cure, and Sam is simply down too many points here to really make anything work. He can't go with Gaud in this position to set up Gauds, because Robin just responds with Ylem through this L and blocks the S spot, taking a 30-point lead, which it's very easy to see Sam can't overcome. And if Gauds, then we transpose into a position similar to what we saw earlier. Sam is stuck with a G and an R. Robin just plays BD followed by EM and wins easily. So one other option to consider here for Sam would be log, just because it does make Robin's life a bit more difficult. It stops things like U and mule, but he's still down too many points. He is going to be able to play ads and squid as well as enthroned, but it's not going to score enough. Robin can now just drop her Y here for even more points, making BD and OY. And yeah, I mean, Sam can play squid, but Robin is simply just winning by too many points. She can just play EM over here. And then if Sam plays his D, then Robin can just play something like Cent, and Sam is stuck with both his tiles. Robin's stuck with his L. Robin wins easily. So log isn't going to work either. And as it turns out, there's really nothing better for Sam to do. After add and cure, he's simply down too many points, and with Goud and Goud's not working, he's completely lost. So with that in mind, let's think about what happens if Sam hooks Q. He's got two options here, well, I guess really three, but it doesn't make sense for him to put his S there, given the S scores a lot more points elsewhere. So we need to look at Q'd and Cure. Let's start with Q'd. The problem with Q'd is Robin can go into this line we looked at earlier, which is just playing at for 2 points. And now the problem is if Sam plays Goud or Gouds, then we're going to have this same position where Sam is stuck with his G and his R, and despite being up 31 points, Robin can just play 8 in Equid, followed by BD, and I'll leave the viewers to do the math and show that that wins easily for Robin. If Sam tries Goud, setting up Gouds, then Robin responds with Ylem over here, and Sam is not going to have enough. If he responds with Ixoras, which is his best play of his S, then Robin will have enough points after just dropping her E over here and passing the game out. So Goud would not work. The only other thing worth checking again is this log play, which we looked at last time. It comes a little bit closer, but it's still not going to work. After BD for Robin, then Sam's best response is probably just something like Ixoras over here, and then Robin can just, once again, slow play with an E drop, and plays like Enthroned are not going to be nearly enough, since Robin can just play Elm over here and take a big lead and pass the game out and win. So we see that Q'd doesn't work, and that really leaves only one possibility, which does turn out to be Sam's winning play, namely Cure over here for 15 points. And now here's the key. If Robin plays at, then we transpose into that winning line I showed at the beginning of this video. Sam can now respond with Gouds. And we see the same exact position we saw when Sam played Gouds as he did in the actual game, and Robin incorrectly responded with at, and Sam won with Cure. So once again, just to remind folks, in this position, Robin would probably respond with something like this, and Sam has to pass. Sam can't play Enthroned because of Elm, so he has to pass, and then only after BD, followed by another pass, and then Robin playing off her E, does Sam play Enthroned and win the game. So this is the same exact sequence that we saw earlier. After Cure, followed by at, then Sam could play Gouds. Interestingly, he actually can also play Goud in this position, since after Robin blocks with Ylem, in this case, he will just barely have enough points since both his D and his S will score a lot. So here he could play Ixoras, and then after Robin responds with 8, he now plays Enthroned, and will hold on to win by 1, since Robin is L and R stuck, Sam is G stuck, and both will lose 2 points after a 6 pass. So after Cure and at, Sam actually has 2 winning options, both winning by 1 point, either Goud or Gouds, which is kind of cool. Now, Robin, of course, doesn't have to play at after Cure. So what if she tries a different idea? Her most promising options would be to play down here to block Gouds. One idea would be EW, which blocks Gouds and sets up big plays like MY. The problem is Sam just drops a D over here with Do, and Robin really doesn't have all that much to work with at this point. She hasn't really gained anything. She could still try something like at over here, but then Sam can still win pretty easily. One way he can do this is actually just playing vetoes, and while he will be stuck with both Gs, Robin can't make up enough points in this position. One sequence we might see would be something like BD over here, And then even after enthroned, Robin can play Elm, but it's not going to score enough, right? If she plays Elm, then Sam is still going to be up 18 points, more than enough to withstand a 6 pass after both players pass the game out. So vetoes will stick Sam with both Gs, but Robin just can't quite make back 29 points. And if she instead drops an E after Elm, then she's going to be stuck with all of her L, M, and R. So this is also not going to work. Sam is up more than enough to withstand a 6 pass. So EW is a clever idea for Robin, but it's just not quite going to work. Sam drops his D and then scores enough with vetoes to withstand any sort of slow playing that Robin might be able to muster. So the last idea that I want to show for Robin, since it comes close to winning, is Telly over here, which actually threatens to go out with Redome through this ADO on the next turn. And Sam needs to address this, because if he doesn't, like if he just goes ahead and plays vetoes immediately, then Redome as an outplay wins easily for Robin. So Sam's only way to win is to drop a D for Dado to block Robin's out. And now Robin will not be able to win. Her best option would be something like AR over here, with the idea of blocking Sam from using this spot to unload 2 tiles, and also threatening to play out with both Met as well as EM over here. Sam's only winning play, which outruns the outplays, is vetoes. If Sam just drops an S to hold on to his O, then Met wins by 4 for Robin. So that's not going to work. Sam has to play vetoes, and in this position, Sam will hold on to win. Met now would lose by 2 for Robin, and if she instead tries to just play off her E, she's now M stuck. So Sam simply responds with Enthroned, Robin can't play, and Sam wins easily after a 6 pass. So after Telly, Sam's only winning sequence would be Dado followed by vetoes. And that pretty much covers it, guys. So once again, Sam's winning play, his only winning play in the first position, is not to play Gouds, but to play Cure. If Robin responds with dropping a single tile over here, like at, then Sam needs to play either Goud, forcing Wylam, or Gouds, and then pass and go into that enthroned sequence we saw earlier. And if Robin responds with Telly, then Sam needs to precisely play Dado followed by vetoes in order to hold on. So really, really crazy stuff, and can't blame either of these players for not playing it precisely, but well played to Sam for finding a way to win this position. Nonetheless, really cool game. Thanks again to him for sending it over, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this analysis. And as I've said before, I encourage all of you to send in positions like this. I really enjoy making these videos, and hopefully everyone can learn things from them. So yeah, there you have it. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you for the next one soon. Bye-bye.